Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. That's Vibe with Viv Relationship Coaching. My name is Vivian. I help you heal when you're on the relationship heartbreak process, trying to heal, move on from a breakup, divorce, or separation. So, if this is you, I'm so excited to have you here and welcome. Today, we're going to be diving into our topic, which some people have been struggling with, which is how do you exchange belongings when you're going through this heartbreak? So one of the things where it's hardest because when you're having to go through this breakup, your emotions are going, they're rising. You might not be on speaking terms. You might have gone no contact for a little bit, but you know that you have to exchange items with this person. So how do you go about doing that? So the first step in any form of like communication is communication. So sometimes you have to let go of that ego a little bit, let go of that hurt for a little bit so you can actually get rid of that person's things so you can actually start healing. There's something powerful about cutting contact, letting go of old items, old clothing, giving them all that stuff back that creates those memories that can actually help you heal and move forward. So I know it's not easy and it's hard, but it's part of that healing process. So to get that ball rolling, you have to communicate with that person, whether that's through text, email, whatever form is easier for you so it doesn't rile up those emotions as much. I want you to pick one of those, but communication is key. Knowing the items in advance that you need to give to that person is also very important so that when you do communicate with them, you can tell them, hey, I have your boombox, I have your furniture, I have your watch, I have this of yours that it belongs to you and I need to get it to you. So that way you can actually make a mental list of all the items and you don't keep things or forget things unknowingly so that when you do meet with them, it's easier to let go and give them those things. So A, communicate, and as you communicate, make a list of those items so it's easier for you to just do that exchange. Now, when it comes to the actual exchange, you want to pick a neutral location. So one of my clients actually who was exchanging items, they went to a coffee shop. So go to a public space, somewhere where you both will feel comfortable. I always encourage to avoid going to the person's home or them coming to your home because then emotions can rile up. It can lead you to have more in-depth conversations than you actually want to or desire. So pick a neutral spot where both of you can feel comfortable. And in circumstances where you have to go to that person's house, maybe you live together and you had left, but you have to come back and take your things or vice versa. Sometimes that person has to be there. So although you might have to go to their home, you could communicate if you need to, if they can give you an hour or two when they're not at home so you can grab your things and you don't have to go through that emotional exchange, et cetera, et cetera. And in terms of that emotional exchange, setting a time limit for how long you plan to be there to exchange items can actually also help. So let's say you plan on giving them their items and now it's going on to 30 minutes of talking, 1 hour of talking. You're like, okay, it's time for me to go, right? Because sometimes it's unnecessary to go through the past and what happened all over again and hash out everything. It's unnecessary. So you can save yourself that time by setting a time limit so that you can recognize when it's going past just the exchange of items into more emotional, unnecessary conversations. And kind of similar on that light, sometimes those emotional conversations are bound to happen. So if you know that proactively that there is no way I'm going to encounter this person and we're going to be cordial and nice to each other, then bring a third party, bring a mediator with you. Because having someone else in there can help to appease both of you, help to resolve issues that may possibly come up. And sometimes with that mediator, if you feel like you can't avoid certain conversations that may come up because of exchanging belongings, just have that mediator go get your things or give that person their item. You don't have to necessarily be the person actually getting the stuff or exchanging the items. So you can use that mediator, that third party trusted friend, a close family member, whatever it is, whoever you trust can be that third person who either shows up to that exchange with you or they just take it on for you and they go get the stuff or exchange the things to save you from that emotional roller coaster with that person because they evidently can't have a civil conversation. On that last note, I want to encourage you to stay calm, be respectful. If things start to rile up, right, just kind of remembering why you're there. It's not to rehash everything, solve anything. It's not to try and make it work again necessarily. It's really just to exchange those items. So I want you to remind yourself that, stay calm if things kind of riled up. Be respectful, even though it can be hard. You want to say some certain words or share your last thoughts. You may have that urge. At the end of the day, sharing that last thought or word, what does that really get you? It really doesn't solve the problem or the issue. So it's better to just do the exchange, move on. And as you do that, it actually speeds up your healing process because cutting contacts, letting go of certain items is part of the healing journey. I hope you can apply some of these steps to make it easier for you to exchange items. Share with someone who needs this. Maybe this might not necessarily apply to you, but share with someone who may be going through something like this, or relationship heartbreak where they need support. I make videos on different topics. I offer coaching on this as well. Leave a comment below if you have any other thoughts. Give it a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And that's Vibe with Viv.